these fighting games need to come back. Hey, what's up, nerd fans? This is your boy Gashawn. I want to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today, we talk about 10 fighting games that need to come back in the current gen. Some games that have pretty much been dead for maybe over a decade that I think would be really, really good because they came out in a time where it was actually really cool to be innovative, especially in the fighting game genre. So let's get into that. All right, number 10 would be King of the Monsters. Now, I think it's pretty obvious because we have a Godzilla vs. King Kong movie coming out very soon, and I think that with all the little titans that are coming out, I think it can make a really good game to come out with just a whole bunch of cool titans, have people go head to head. Obviously, you might put them in the middle of like different cities, past and present, to create obstacles and stuff like that. And obviously, just like in the movies, you can have them have really cool, distinctive command sets. So I think that'd be cool. So yeah, number 10, King of the Monsters. Number 9, I'll say, is Fighting Vipers. Now, in terms of how Fighting Vipers is right now, if you picked it up, it's pretty dated, and I really doubt people will really get into it. However, if you just appreciate certain things of the game, for example, the fighting models, which everyone kind of look like they just went shopping at Modell's for some reason, like the shoulder pads. Somebody has literally a bike on their back. The other one uses a skateboard to attack. Just pretty cool creatively. And I think that would look really good, especially because, you know, even pieces of their armor and shoulder pads like fall off during battle. So I think just a fighter that doesn't look like any other thing would be pretty cool. So yeah, I think Fighting Vipers would be really good at number 9 to bring into the current gen. Number 8 for me has to be Fight Night. Now, I know for some people's list is probably a little bit higher, just depends on what kind of like fighting games you like, but I think we have to mention this because obviously EA is busy doing the UFC games, and I think the reason why we don't have a Fight Night is because the wane in popularity when it comes to boxing in the mainstream audience and the rise of mixed martial arts and stuff like that. However, this is a good way to get people acclimated with the fighters that are there right now, the boxers that are there right now. I think it was a really steady game. Obviously, I believe, what was it, the latest one? Like, I think it was Champions. A lot of people didn't like, but the overall system was very sturdy. I don't know why they stopped making them. I'd appreciate it, and I think especially with all the online competition that could happen, I think it'd be an excellent game to put in there. So, yep, number 8 would be Fight Night. Number 7 is a personal favorite of mine. It's gonna be the Def Jam series. I mean, specifically, I always loved Fight for New York. A lot of my friends loved it as well. Now, obviously, I mean, I guess in the new game, we would have to have, I'm not talking about Icon, by the way. Let's forget that even happened. But I think a lot of the artists that we have now on Def Jam, I'm not sure, I don't know who's on it right now. I don't really pay attention to that. But we could still maybe even port Fight for New York and maybe even remaster it. Maybe if you're not going to make a brand new game, at least remaster that one, because that was excellent. When it came to just the character creation, the styles, the finishing moves, and the overall gratification you got when, you know, when defeating someone, and obviously getting a chance to hear that announcer and all that, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, so I'll say number 7, not Fight for New York, Def Jam, the Def Jam series. I would say number 6 would be Battle Arena to Shinden. Now, this might be higher on some people's lists, but I think this was such a great fighting game, especially for what it added with the sidestep, which really brought fighting games to true 3D, because obviously Virtua Fighter 5 was the first one to use 3D polygons, but this was the first one to add that sidestep motion. The characters were well designed. It was a weapon fighter as well. So I think this would look great in the current gen as well. So yeah, Battle Arena to Shinden would definitely be number 6. Top 5. These are some of the big ones, the ones that I constantly think about when I think about games that should be remastered. So number 5 would definitely be Darkstalkers. We got to do that. I mean, I remember they were doing a campaign. I forgot which game it was, that pretty much they were trying to gauge the interest by if you bought that game, then they would look into making a new one, which I think the fans are there. The fans are there for. Capcom, they waste a lot of their IPs. I don't know why they do that. But Darkstalkers is an amazing game, specifically Darkstalkers 3. I mean, they have a cast of characters that's based off of like horror movie stuff, whether it's a mummy, a yeti, a werewolf, vampires, a succubus, all those things are there. And honestly, they already have an engine, which is obviously was established in Street Fighter 4, which you can just kind of just plug in all the stuff that they made. I don't know why we haven't done it. And I can just go directly in to number 4 Number 4 being Rival Schools or Project Justice, whichever one you want to call it. Once again, great design characters. It actually links up with Street Fighter as well, so it's kind of like a companion series as well. And we got like cool characters like Batsu. Like I got to see Batsu and Kyosuke, who showed up in Capcom vs SNK, but I would love to see them in that like Street Fighter 4 and 5 engine. It's already built in for them. I don't know why we haven't done it yet. So yes, 5 and 4. We have Darkstalkers and Rival School slash Product Justice. Those two, definitely. Here we go with the top 3. So, top 3 for fighting games that need to come back. 3 would have to be Power Stone. Now, Power Stone, similar to Smash Bros., is like a platformer, except they're not operating in only like a 2D model, like it's 3D, so you have to really be careful of positioning. And this is a great party game. I don't know why Capcom hasn't come out with this one either. This would be an excellent game, especially remastered. And with online play, see, it's one of the things where it's like, you wonder why they haven't come up with this game, because it would kill it online. The characters are awesome. And also when you get those stones, you get that temporary transformation that makes them that more powerful. Come on, we need that. Number 2, Bushido Blade. A lot of people might even put that as number 1. And that's because when it came to like realistic sword fighting, even though it doesn't look all that great right now, but when you see Bushido Blade and you notice, like, you know, they got that feeling of when a sword fight goes on, it could end at any minute. You know, whether you get your leg amputated, you get like a slash right across the chest, neck, it could end at any moment. And where you get cut affects the fight. Can you imagine something that gory in like with PS4 or PS5 graphics or whatever you're gonna play it on? It'd be excellent. Oh, and Sony's another group that for some reason just has all these IPs and doesn't do anything with them. I'm not really sure why that is. But yeah, Bushido Blade, definitely number 2. Is something that would look amazing. Some honorable mentions here would be like Time Killers. While that game wasn't all that great when it came out, the idea is really cool because you have like different warriors from different time periods and countries and stuff like that fighting, and you could either have that as like a 1-to-1 or a 3D plane and have them using their environment against each other. That'd actually be really cool to see, and you kind of educate people on different warriors of the past. So it has like a multiple, like, it has a lot of benefits, that game. So not just the gameplay, but even educational if you wanted to go there. But I think it'd just be really fun. Another honorable mention would be Primal Rage, which is kind of in the same vein as King of the Monsters, but you know, like Velociraptors and stuff like that. And Star Gladiator. Star Gladiator is actually a personal favorite of mine with like Hayato. I mean, like a space fighter, like a cosmic fighter. I'd like to see that, because obviously the visuals. A lot of these games were limited by what they had back then, and now you see what the engines are capable of doing now. I think that would be another game that's visually pleasing, and you can add some really, really cool mechanics. And once again, it's Capcom. Come on, Capcom, you got so much stuff. Just give us the fighters and stop just trying to milk one franchise to death when you've got 1,000 of them. Number 1 for me is Bloody Roar, because I feel like it is catered towards the competitive scene. Something that, can you imagine a character doing a combo, juggling said opponent, transforming, and then just having an entirely different combo that wouldn't have been possible unless you do that transformation? It's something that'd be awesome. Or even like canceling out of the transformation to do some type of special move. It's awesome. It's built in, cool characters. You can be really creative when it comes to the animals, and the story wasn't too bad, but obviously I don't think anyone really played it for the story. But regardless, it would look amazing in current gen. So number 1, Bloody Roar. But yeah, honestly, that's it. Those are the top 10 fighting games that I feel like should come back. Let me know if you have one that I didn't include, or you disagree with one of the ones that I put up there. Let's talk about it, have that conversation. And until then, keep on playing these fighting games, and don't forget to enter the nerd.